Hello, so today we are going over how to send an international shipment, how to send an export. So it's a little bit different than shipping domestic. Some things are similar, but there is one extra thing that you have to do. So this one today is going to Canada. I've already gone in, I logged into my FedEx account. If you looked at my business builder tracker, setting up the shipping accounts is one of the things you need to do. It's easy, it's free, basically just setting up your payment info. Pretty straightforward. So I'm logged in and I already filled in all of the shipping info. So I go ahead and hit next. And here it's going to ask me about my packaging. So this one is two packages actually. Both are about 45 pounds. Let's see, they're about 24 by 18 by 18. This stuff doesn't need to be exact, but when you're shipping um, products, what you do want is to make sure you have the right carriage value. And this is basically for your insurance in case one of the packages gets lost or something like that. Let's see, so I'm just going to do FedEx ground, which is fine. Next. Okay, so customs invoice. This is one of the important things for exporting. So you click this one. I want FedEx to help me create the commercial invoice. And then you go ahead and hit next. Now, I already have my item saved, but basically if you were to hit add new item, it's going to ask you the different questions. So first is the item description. You basically just explain exactly what you're shipping. And then the harmonized code. So this is important because it tells the customs officials exactly what you're shipping. So you can look this up with Google. Sometimes it's called an HTS code or harmonized code. You can also ask the supplier of the equipment or the item that you purchased from what is the HTS code. So once you have the code, you just plug it in. And then you also want to have the right quantity of pieces. I usually do sets. That makes a little bit more sense for the type of items that I ship. And then you want to make sure the customs value matches the package value that you just put in. Let's see, I don't really need to update the item, just this specific one. Okay, then I go ahead and hit save. And this should save it to my commercial invoice. Let's see, what was not filled in correctly? Let's see. Okay, so this is supposed to be the total. All right. Hit save and then next. What is going on now? Harmonized code. Oh, I think I just need to click that one. All right. Add the little periods there. Sometimes these change. Like every couple of months, they'll change little settings and stuff. So, all right. So I'm going to drop off my shipment at FedEx. That's usually the easiest. Go ahead and hit next. Shipment notifications. Build transportation. So I sold this one under Incoterms Xworks. Essentially what Incoterms are is it's the way you're handling the transaction and when the actual ownership of the item takes place. So when you buy something from the store, they give you the item and then you pay for it. So everything's done right there. When you're dealing with a business, uh, different arrangements can be agreed upon. So the transfer of the item can either happen at your shipping dock, it can happen later if you're shipping overseas, it can happen at like the actual shipping dock at the seaport, or it can happen when the item actually gets to the customer. And this is where the liability is switched over. So once they take ownership or possession of the product, you are no longer liable for any sort of damage from shipping or anything like that. So Incoterms is important, especially for international deals. So this one is under Incoterms Xworks, which means they pay for the shipping, and as soon as I ship it, they take ownership of it because it's under their shipping. So what I do is I'm going to bill this to ship the recipient, and then they gave me their FedEx account, so I can just go ahead and put that in. And FedEx will check to make sure that it's matched up with their address and everything. And then I'm going to bill the duties, taxes, and fees also to the recipient because, again, that's the Xworks terms. So we'll go international ground. Should be delivered by next week. Go ahead and hit next. Attach trade documents electronically. Let's see, and I'll also do a certificate of origin. All right, this looks more or less good. Go ahead and hit finalize. And what I'm looking for is the shipping label. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. Throw it in my folder here. And I'm shipping 2 packages, so I got 2 labels. So that looks good. And then the customs invoice or the commercial invoice. Or do I like to hit print and then download it? All right, and let's just take a second, make sure this all looks good. All right, contact name is good. That's our number. Sold. And the customer, all their info. So when I print this out, I'll just write 2 packages here. Looks like the total's coming up, but that's missing. You want to make sure it's kind of fully filled out, and then I'll sign this down here. But other than that, this looks good, and I saved it already. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and print out these items. You want to have the shipping label and sometimes some extra copies of the shipping label. And then you also want to have multiple copies of the commercial invoice. So you want to have at least 3 copies. Sometimes I put 4 or 5 in there because each step of the way they take commercial invoice. So when it gets to the border, they'll take a copy. When it goes through FedEx, they'll take a copy. So you want to just make sure that you have enough copies. And then that's pretty much it. You make sure your package is nice and secure. You got some foam and padding in there, and you're good to go. So that's how to ship international. If you guys have any questions about this, drop them in the comments below. And then I also have a free mini course on how to build your own distribution company. And if you find that interesting, that's on my YouTube channel. It's also in my Skool Community. So you can check out our Skool Community, Fast Forward Founders, where I'm also answering all types of questions about how to build your own business. And that's the best way to reach me. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.